So, day 25, story time. So let's hop in our time machine. Let's hop in our time machine back to when I was 20. So when I was 20, I was not a very experienced person in regard to women. I got with this, I had answered an ad in a listing service, like classified, for singing, wanted singers and dancers, because that's what I did. And I went to the interview, and it was for singing and dancing. And when I was being interviewed, the woman who was interviewing me was very attractive, a little older, but very attractive, and she was impressed with what I had going on. And she did a great job of roping me in. And that was probably my first, like, really mature relationship in my life. And yes, I married her. First woman who seriously fucked me, and I married her. So in that relationship, what did I do in that relationship? We worked together in the business. I also did other things on the outside. But inside that business, I did things like, sort and organize things. I worked for free. I paid off all of her debts. I fixed the house up. Just constant, my codependency just constantly pouring it in. And I was a fool. She was 10 years older. She had 2 older kids. What the fuck did I marry her for? Actually, I wish my parents had pulled me aside. And it's funny, my dad actually told me years later he tried to, but my mother stopped him, which is another commentary altogether. But I have to make sure that I keep my children in a place of respect with me, so that way if they start making stupid decisions, that they'll respect my opinion and maybe embody some of that. Because back then I felt like this was it for me. It was my only opportunity. In any case, that was the beginning of my codependency. And as I look back on all my relationships, it permeates them all. And I will tell you more stories about them. But the point is that how that relationship went along is that I worked in business, worked together, paid off bills, decided to get married. Oh, before you even tried to get married, though, I discovered she had cheated on me with her old boyfriend. But like a simp, I took her back. And things went on. Then we eventually did get married. And that lasted for, I don't know, a year. It was bad. It was really bad. She became really lazy. She became hard to handle, really whining and complaining. And ultimately she ended up taking off again with the same old boyfriend. It's hilarious, isn't it? But throughout that whole thing, the biggest thing there is that she lost respect for me because I didn't respect myself. I was constantly kissing her ass in my words, deeds, and even in that whole emotional aura that you put out. So, word of advice, guys, always take stock of where you are in your life, what your goals are, what the goals of your ex-partner was, how they align. Now, as I think about the girl that I'm not with right now, we had pretty similar goals. I'd like to travel, like to enjoy my life. She had 2 kids, I had 2 kids. We liked having fun. I had no desire to run off to Africa and open a mission or build a rocket ship and take trips to the moon. Nothing like that. Not that I don't have lofty goals, but I want to be successful and I work well in my business, but work doesn't captivate me. I like the experience of communion, and communion with my partner that's important and valuable to me. And I think it was to her too. So yeah, that's the first tale of my codependence. I'll tell you some more stories in upcoming installments, as we need media for all these things, right? But for sure, if you're thinking about getting your ex back, analyze yourself about other relationships you've had. When that woman left me, yes, I wanted her back too. Even despite all the horse shit she did to me, I wanted her back. Just, It's not the devil it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. I wanted her back in the most furious way. But the reality is that she didn't. And I could have had her back. You know, it's funny, years later, several times she reached out. And I could have taken her back. But I knew she was bad news. And you know, it's funny, every relationship that I think I mentioned this in other installments, every relationship I've had, when I'm not there anymore, it goes to fuck. Like their lives go to fuck. I don't know if that would happen with this girl I've just been with recently here. She pretty much had a lot of her stuff together, but who knows? Karma's funny that way, because I do believe, you know, like I really added a lot to my current girlfriend's life. And yeah, there's gratitude, but it was never in the level I wanted. But again, that's my codependency. Codependents do things looking not only to beget love, but looking for reciprocation that's measured, when you should give and not expect to receive. But that being said, I really was a sport. I really feel like I dedicated a lot to it, and to be sort of dealt with this way, hey, you know what, maybe it's the only way she could, because our going backs and forth, towards the end, as I mentioned, we had these mini breakups, and I'm great at selling getting back together, and I guess it's called hoovering, which, you know, to some degree, I have a level of narcissism in me, but those who can recognize narcissism really aren't narcissists, because for a long time I thought I was. But the jury's in. They say, you know, if you think you're a narcissist, you're not. I have pride tendencies and things like that, but I don't steamroll people for my own goals. And as I said, I think she has narcissistic tendencies, some more than others. As to whether she's a full-blown narcissist, I don't think so. You know, we had so many tender times that even, like, she cared about me as the relationship was winding down, and ultimately she had to cut it off cold turkey because of, you know, she's protecting herself and doing what she perceives in the moment is best for herself. But now we've been apart, we're out of communication for 25 days. And, you know, if she's seeing another guy, they've been on some nice dates. They probably had some decent sex, which is okay. And I stress decent, because ours was, like, she just couldn't believe. She went out of her way to talk about how spectacular our initial union was. And it kept getting better and better. And it's just, there was just something about our particular chemistry which was really perfect. And I've been with a lot of women, and I have to concur. So I think whoever she's with, he's the rebound. She definitely needs someone to just pass some time with. But I know for a fact her thoughts of me have to be preying on her mind. And I love it. I love it. So just make it stronger. Like when she comes to me, I'm really am feeling like I'm gonna get this moment where she's like knocking at my door in desperation. Not sure. I mean, you know, maybe I'm imprinting my desires on the future, and I don't want to put her in pain, but like that'll be a pain she inflicts on herself. Anyway, yeah, that's today's story. It's just I have a pattern for sure. I have a pattern, but I can break it now. I can break it. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this whole deal. You know, I'm seeing another woman right now. She's young and she's fresh. She arguably has more youth and beauty than the girl I want back. But I'm not really just about the youth and beauty. I'm about the whole experience. And, I would suggest they're on par as far as beauty is concerned. But the personality of my ex-girlfriend was just so in sync with mine. So we'll see. I'm certainly not going to discount this other girl, and I'm giving her the opportunity to, you know, take a place in my future. And ultimately, and I'm working with her too. Like I have a lot of life experience I'm trying to impart upon her. So if our relationship doesn't last, I am definitely going to leave her better than I got there. But we'll just see. I mean, I'm a relationship guy. I really like being in relationships. It's not that I'm addicted to relationships. It's like saying you're addicted to food. I like food. I don't eat too much food, but I need food. And when it comes to relationships, I like relationships, and I want to have a relationship. So I will, for as long as it lasts. Anyway, guys, thanks very much.